And last Wednesday, we promised to bring an amazing lady in studio today. Her name is Wanjama Ora, and she hit news headlines globally and nationally for her good act toward her former schoolmate, whom she met in the streets. And she's going to share with us information about her former schoolmate, that is Hinga Patrick, on his progress and probably a lot of information about her as a person too. Karibu sana kwenye show, Wanjama Ora.
Thank you.
Kicking us off, where is Hinga, the guy you assisted out of the streets some time back, that is in October last year?
Oh, Patrick is still at the rehab. After the 3 months program, the doctor decided that he wasn't ready, due to a long period of drug addiction and use. The doctor decided that the 90 days wasn't enough for him to rehabilitate. So he added another 1 more month. So he's still at the rehab. Hopefully, after review, this month, he'll be out. Yeah. All
right. And when you met him, that is in October last year, you said he was not in a position to hold a steady conversation with you. Currently, what is the situation?
Right now, he's okay. It's only that we had fears of a relapse.
Okay.
But right now, he's focused. He can concentrate. He's really oriented. So he's improved basically.
All right. And probably to that viewer out there who is bumping into this story for the first time, how and when did you meet Hinga, and who is he to you?
Hinga was my classmate that was in primary school. And
how many years back?
Wow. Those were about, let's say, 20 years ago.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so we used to school together in primary school. Then after that, we went our different ways. He enrolled in a provincial school, that was Uthiru High School. So where he dropped out because of drug addiction, but that was marijuana. People call it bangi here. So he was expelled. Then after being expelled, he had no, what we call a good upbringing, because he was taken care of by the grandmother. So that's where he got into more addiction of hard drugs. So eventually the grandmother died, so he was left alone on the streets. And due to depression, that now he's out of school, the grandmother is dead, he ventured into it deeper and deeper. So that was in 2004.
2004, that's around 13 years ago.
So I met him again in 2017.
In October?
In October.
Okay, in Kabete?
I was on my way to the market.
All right.
And I bumped into him. So I couldn't recognize him myself. So, but he could recognize me. And it was really heartbreaking to see somebody who had a bright future, because he was one of the best students in class. And it really broke my heart to see that he's all worn out, all, all weekly, because he doesn't have a place to stay, enough food.
Let me just chip in. Who identified the other? Was it you or was it him?
No, I couldn't identify him the first time, but he called me by my name.
Oh, amazing. So, after 20 years of not seeing you.
So when he called me by my name, he caught my attention.
Okay.
And then he started reminding me of how we used to be in class. But basically, even in class, he was a very quiet boy. So so he reminded me of our classmates, the teachers, even the head teacher.
What kind of a kid and classmate was he?
He was, as I've said, he was quiet, but he was very active in sports, especially in football. So we had nicknamed him Pele, because he was very good in football.
A great footballer.
So I can remember him in sports. In class, he was just a quiet one. Even right now, he's just a quiet young man. So nothing much really to say about his activities in school, other than sports. And then he was, back then we used to have the national schools, the provincial. He was one of the lucky to be enrolled in provincial school. Amazing.
That's an amazing story. And Wanja, you're telling me about Hinga, sorry, Hinga. You're telling me about Hinga being an amazing footballer back in the day and a quiet guy. and that he was the person who recognized you. So that means his memory was still functional, very much functional, right?
Yeah. You know, when you look at him, or when you looked at him back then, he tried to survive in the streets.
Yeah.
So basically, he was dirty and kempt. You know, he looked like a mad person. So if you didn't know him, you would think that he's a mad person. But when you talk to him, you would realize that this guy is not mad.
Yeah.
He was depressed.
Okay.
And then a depression with a combination of drugs, then it made him look like a crazy person. But his memory was intact and very oriented to the environment and the people around him.
All right.
Yeah.
And to what level of education did he reach?
Well, he enrolled in Uthiru High School. Back then it was a mixed school.
Okay.
He dropped out in Form 3.
All right.
So that is
the
farthest he went to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you share those pictures online, a lot of people actually were moved by your kind and good deed right there. But there are those who are actually speculating that you are grooming a husband.
Well, in social media, you expect the negative and the positive.
Yes.
It's for you to decide which one to take. So I had a mission that I had to accomplish. That was raise enough money to take him to a rehab. Rehabs in Kenya are very expensive. And the public ones, they are not competent enough, especially to handle such a case. So I needed to take him to a good rehab. And a good rehab was going for 100,000 a month.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a choice other than to go to social media
to appeal for funds.
Yeah. So I could brush off the negative and run with the positive.
All right.
Because if you run with the negative, chances are very high that you'll not accomplish your mission.
Yeah, you'll not achieve your target.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've basically rubbished those claiming that you are grooming a husband in Hinga.
Yeah.
All right, and one of my colleagues told me to ask you this about your relationship status, now that there are those who are saying that you're grooming a husband and everything. And there's a viewer out there who probably want to know, this amazing lady, as beautiful as you are you seeing somebody? Are you married?
I'm engaged.
Wow.
I'm in a very serious relationship, heading to marriage soon.
Yeah.
So I'm not single and I wasn't grooming a husband.
All right, and my director, Monica, tells me that time is nearly up. And one thing that people don't know is that you have put up a shop for Hinga so that when he integrates back into the community, he has a source of livelihood and he also has a house to go to. Is that the case? And how much probably preparations and effort have you put toward him being reintegrated back into the society?
After the story went viral, the rehab where he's at, they decided to waive the bills. So we had managed to collect a few 100,000 shillings. Yeah. So we decided to open a shop for him. But before we opened the shop for him, we asked him what he wants to do. So he told me before he got really addicted into drugs, he used to sell these plastic things, what we call mali-mali. Yeah. So he told me that if we can get him a mali-mali shop, he would run it. So with whatever we managed to raise, we spotted a place. We stocked the shop, which the mother is currently running it. Okay. And of course, we got him a house. Yeah. We paid for it, and we furnished it. So it's currently running in Ruai. And so far, so good. All
right, so far, so good. I wish we had more time to talk to Wanjama about the situation and condition of Hinga, but we'll get another session to continue this conversation. That has been my time on Season Extra Trends and Entertainment, but we'll have more of this interview on the digital space. My name is Brano Court, even as I hand you back to Ahiga Mora. Ahiga, take it away.